First podcast. Here we go.
First podcast. Here we go.
Listen, you best keep walking, work me again.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. My name's Haley. I'm here with Alchemy Cartel. We are a bass music label, collective, and event group out of South Florida. This is actually our first podcast, so let's go. We're doing this for our Element Mix series. So we're kind of just putting on some local talent, mainly reaching out to producers. We want to just see the vibe and see what everyone's kind of doing on their own and kind of just supporting that, putting their music out there. Trying to get the local scene on, and that's kind of the goal with this. And I felt like interviews, podcasts were way more personal, and we kind of just want that touch. Like, we had our first mix ever go out last month, and I felt like the questions in the bio of our post was not personal enough, and I really wanted to sit down and talk one-on-one with the artists that we have on the mix series. So we have Yenny. Her DJ name is Yenny, and she's going to be our first podcast. Super excited to have you.
Yes, me too. I'm so excited to be here.
Hell
First podcast for me as well. So
let's go. First for a lot of things right now. We're also in Hakuna Makava Kava Bar in West Palm Beach. They have a dope little spot. Please come check it out. But yeah, so let's kind of just dive right into this.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I always start with like a few basic questions.
All right.
So the first one I had was generally just what got you into making music?
So I would say producing. I started producing after I started mixing.
Okay.
So I kind of got a concept of how songs look like on the computer with the intro and the drops and how to kind of arrange them. So once I started mixing, I got really motivated to jump into producing my own sound, getting Ableton, and really diving into that. I never really viewed myself as a musician before, so getting into production was pretty intimidating. So I got lots of lessons from producers that I enjoyed their music, or I would just see them offering, lessons. So that was very helpful.
Cool.
I started producing in, I want to say 2020, I think. It's been like 3 years now.
Hell
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like that's a short time span to be going from mixing to producing, and like you're already playing like shows all over the US. Like,
yeah,
I feel like that's really dope.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
So who was like the first person that like gave you a lesson? If you're cool with talking about that.
First lesson, it was probably from one of my homies.
Yeah.
Like we were just like in the DAW together, kind of showing me how drum patterns work and just basic things like that.
Yeah.
And then I've had lessons from Yoko. I had one with Vector.
Cool.
So yeah, it's been I've got to learn a lot from some of the greats. They're geniuses, so it's sometimes hard for me to follow, but
Right.
yeah.
That can be intimidating like in itself, like taking a lesson. Like I feel like anytime I've done something that I had no idea what I was doing, and you're learning from someone who's like so experienced and like that you look up to, you're just like, I can't even follow, because one, like I don't feel like this is real, and two,
Yeah, exactly.
like I don't even know what I'm doing. Like
Yeah.
it's just a crazy thing to think about.
Yeah.
So you said you started mixing before you were producing. How long did you start until you got into producing?
So I started mixing when I was in college.
Okay.
So I graduated college 2020.
Okay.
So when I was a sophomore, I started my own radio show on campus.
Oh, dope.
So it was like, it wasn't really mixing. It was just kind of me playing cool EDM music I like.
Yeah.
And being like, yeah, this is why I played it. Enjoy your day, whatever.
Yeah.
And then someone that was in the club with me showed them like an old board that was in our radio station, and that's what got me kind of interested. So it was broken, so I got my own.
Okay.
And then I started mixing when I was at school, just kind of for fun. And then probably a year after that, maybe 2 years, I like started playing shows and doing live stuff. So
Cool.
it's like been probably 2 years after I started mixing and started dabbling in producing.
Hell yeah. So then you're definitely not like a newbie to talking on a mic. Like,
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess. Unfortunately, I do get very shy during live shows.
Yeah.
So I don't hop on the mic. Maybe this will get me there. So
hell yeah. But that's dope. I didn't know that. Radio show in college. Like, how do you even land something like that?
My major was communication and my minor was emergent media. So I learned like about all the new media platforms coming up, like podcasting. I had a podcasting class, kind of like coding websites and stuff. So I learned through all the different kind of media clubs through that. And I've always loved just listening to music. So I was like, I might as well just do my own thing, play my own music.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own idea of what genre they play, and you can be like really broad or really niche. It kind of, depends on how you define, your sound and your style. What would you really like describe that as? Do you put it in like a main category, or do you feel like you're in a niche? Like,
I think I play a variety of stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite is deep dub. That's what I make primarily.
Yeah.
I also make some halftime, which is just like a faster beat than deep dub.
Okay.
So my sets are pretty much half deep dub and then half a variety show. Like I'll play genres D&B, like regular dubstep, all different kinds of stuff. So it's kind of hard for me to categorize myself into a certain genre.
Yeah.
But I would say I make a lot of deep dub.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always good, I feel like, to have range, especially when you're playing a lot of live sets, because the same sound can get boring, and like you want to be able to like mix it up every once in a while.
Yeah.
So I think that's dope. But do you typically enjoy mainly like listening to that as well, like most of the time when you're just out and about, or do you like listen to different stuff other than EDM?
I listen to a lot of hip hop,
Okay.
rap. I do listen to a lot of EDM, mainly because I'm like great diving on SoundCloud, just trying to find like that new awesome song that I love.
Right.
But in my spare time when I'm just chilling, definitely like R&B, hip hop.
Yeah. Cool. Do you say you get a lot of influences from that as well in your music?
Yeah, definitely. One of my favorite things to do for my live sets is like making mashups of like rap songs, or I really love putting R&B songs like where the crowd can sing along, like Mary J. Blige, stuff like that. So that's what I have most fun doing when I'm prepping for a set, is like trying to find a song that I love in my free time and putting it with like some heavy bass.
Yeah, I love that. I know you've played a few shows down here, and then you play shows out of Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Philly area.
Okay. That's probably another question I should ask.
Yeah, that's
from
okay.
Philly. Okay.
I'm technically from Scranton, like the office.
Oh, hell
which is like 2 hours north of Philly. So.
Okay. But you play a lot of shows there.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there any other places, because you've traveled to play shows too.
Mm-hmm.
What are like the other main places you played?
Lately I've been going to New York City a lot.
Oh,
like
cool.
Brooklyn, which has been awesome.
Yeah.
I love going to that city, and all the like people there are just so into the vibe. It's been great. I played in Maine once. I've like been in different states for festivals, like Maine. I went to Tennessee for a festival once.
Yeah.
I go to Florida a lot, and I'm like on the East Coast too.
Okay.
I play it in Philly, decent amount.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really in Scranton. There's not really any venues there, which is why I'm always traveling and accepting gigs from wherever.
Yeah, that's gotta be tough. How far is Philly from you though? 2 hours, you said?
Yeah, like 2 hours.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
Driving.
Yeah, I can do it down and back, no problem.
Yeah. So what is like your dream venue to play?
I probably would used to say Red Rocks, but since I've been in New York, I feel like going to Mission Ballroom would be so cool. Like with all those LED screens and all the shows, I just like, they just looks like such a party. Like,
Yeah.
and everyone from the city loves that place, so I think it would be cool.
Hell yeah. That's
Yeah.
I've never been, but I always hear like that's the main one.
Yeah, I've never been either, and I'll probably go soon.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be there before I play there, but
Yeah, that would be
one
dope.
day. Yeah.
And then what would be like your dream back to back?
maybe Distinct Motive.
Okay.
He's a deep dub artist.
Yeah, I love him. I saw him. He actually played here in West Palm years ago. Oh my god, I can't even remember when.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but in like this little hole in the wall venue that used to play like a bunch of dubstep, and like we had friends throwing shows there. So it was like I literally had no idea who these people were, and I'm just like showing up. And my friend's like, you gotta see Distinct Motive. And I was like, I have no idea who that is. And it was a great time.
Love
Like,
that, yeah.
Just like such high energy. And he's such a cool dude. Like literally, it was so small.
Yeah.
He just like walked into the crowd, was like chilling with everybody. So that was cool.
Yeah, he's very inspiring to me. He's also like, I saw him tweet this, so take this with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But he said as long as he's been in the music scene, he's also had like a steady office type career, and like could balance both of them, which is kind of important to me because I don't really want to like risk it all until like I can, you know.
Right.
So it's important to have balance like that in my life, and to see someone like him be able to do that too was pretty reassuring.
Yeah. That's something I feel like a lot of people in the industry don't talk about enough, is that balance. Because as much as we want to be at shows and we want to be traveling and like going to like we have this weekend and this next weekend, it's like not realistic. And like I always look at people and I'm like, what do you do for work that you're able to like go to all these things?
Yeah, literally the only reason I can DJ is because I have like a job that I work every day during the week, and then luckily my bosses have been really chill and they let me take off when I need. But yeah, so it means a lot to me to be able to balance it, and it's tough, but it's definitely possible.
Yeah, that's so important though. Like, I feel like a lot of people, even like work-life balance, I feel like work-life show balance is like something else.
Oh yeah. Like keeping a mindset, like a professional mindset during shows can be pretty tough because you just want to be having fun, and the majority of the time all your friends are there, but it's important to like stay on task, you know, do what you came there to do.
Right, mingle, talk to all the right people, and that's the thing. Like, and I've been noticing a lot more, like now that I get like more people that are actual DJs and like playing bigger shows, it's like, no, I have to like behave because I have to talk to this person and this person. Like that's what they came to do. And it's like before I was just coming to a show and like just doing whatever and have a great time. And I'm like,
yeah, now there's like a purpose.
Yeah, and it's crazy, but it's so important. Just like the connections and stuff, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's also why I'm just like going all over the place, because any connection I make is good for me, and I want to be able to harbor those relationships, so I try to travel as much as I can.
So have you ever had like a show or an experience where the crowd like just wasn't having it, or like wasn't vibing, or like it was just kind of dead? Like
yeah, I haven't had like an entire crowd that's dead, but I've had crowds where there's like not a lot of people.
Well, yeah,
but the people there are vibing, which is all I can ask for. But sometimes, like, since I'm still support, sometimes there'll be people just like on the rail, just like waiting for like the main, and they're just like staring at me, just like not dancing, and I'm just like, that can kind of mess with me sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't had any like really poor crowd interactions or anything like that.
Yeah.
Oh wait, actually no, I totally have. I was playing in Penn State University.
Okay.
In some college bar. The stage is like elevated, and these two boys jumped up, one on either side of me, and they started being like, "Can I make a song request? Yo, can I make a song request? Da da da." And I was like, And luckily my dad came to that show, so he was like a little bodyguard, and he just like kind of carried him off stage, and
nice.
that was that. But yeah, that was, I feel like I don't know if that would happen at any other venue other than like some drunk college.
Oh my God. Don't make song
Yeah.
requests.
Don't be those boys.
If you take anything from this podcast. But man, like I think it's so funny, like seeing people like make videos of like play this, and I just think like I've seen like John Summit I think do it a few times, or he's just like videos of people in the crowd like play this or like saying something, and I think that's hilarious. But for people to like go out of their way, like get on stage,
Yeah, it was very alarming. I was like, why? I didn't know these people, and I was just like, what's going on?
yeah, no, hell no. Oh, so like an origin here. What really like got you into it? Like, did you start listening to EDM first and like got into it, or like?
My good friend convinced me to go to Camp Bisco, which is a festival that used to be in Scranton. I was like going through it that summer, so I was like, I don't really want to, but then she was like, no, you're going. And then I went there, saw Grizz, I think, for the first time. I think Pretty Lights might have even been playing there, and I didn't even know what was going on, but I was like, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
So once I saw that, I was still in college, and I was like, maybe I'll be like a manager or something.
Yeah.
I'll be in the back end, because like I said, I didn't consider myself like a creative like that yet.
Yeah.
And then I just started getting way more into the scene, and then I did my radio show, and I was just like, why can't I, you know? I was just kind of telling myself that I'm not this when I never even tried.
Yeah.
So then I tried, and I was like, this is kind of dope.
Hell yeah, I love that. Like, I feel like sometimes we're our own worst enemies.
Totally.
And for you to just be like, oh, I can't do this, and like you actually do it, and like look at you now, like only a few years later, and you're like booking shows across the U.S. Like that's a really, really dope story to like kind of inspire people.
Yeah, and I'm kind of happy I like kind of, even though it's happened fast, I didn't like dive right into it in college. I kind of like grew that brain of like management and like the business side of it and building connections and all that. So I think it was pretty worthy to my journey of me getting that degree and everything.
Yeah, so do you think that like helped you in your like starting time doing it?
Yeah, I think so. Just like media literacy, like knowing how to talk to people online, because that's how I have to get a lot of my bookings is through online emails, DMs, you know, whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's definitely something for like people who are, you know, first starting out, like definitely do your research, learn how to talk to people, like
learn how to like build a professional email, like make a EPK, which is an electronic press kit, which is kind of like a resume for DJs. Like,
oh cool,
here's my music, here's a mix, these is where I played, these are shows I've done. So just like doing little stuff like that has been beneficial, and like I've done it all myself with like the help of Chloe. I didn't have to like go sourcing it otherwise. So I think it could be beneficial to learn on your own. For sure.
Because no one like really just starts out like, ooh, boom, management, ooh, like
which a lot of
team.
people like, I think a lot of people do focus on that. They think it's a big part of success. I don't really think so necessarily. Because I think I can manage myself pretty well. Booking agents are different. Which I'm not opposed to. If you're out there.
Okay, anybody listening, get her a booking agent. Hell yeah. And then so kind of going towards the mix, is there any like inspiration you got for the mix, or did you kind of just like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and do this and just go with the flow and do it, or did you plan it out?
I definitely planned this one out based on, I haven't done a mix since probably like a year. And so once I make a mix of sorts, I usually start fresh with like new tracks and all that. So since then I've just kind of collected the tracks that I think have been hitting most and just put them all in a mix for you guys.
Is there any of like your favorite tracks in there? Any like IDs?
Yeah, there's some IDs in there with my homie Uva. I think he's in the beginning. I think that's the only idea. I have a bunch of originals.
Cool.
Some Vector. He's one of my favorite producers.
Yeah. I feel like he's so slept on too.
Yeah, so slept on, and like his Bandcamp is so poppin' with songs that haven't been released and stuff. So yeah.
So you got a few of those on there?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Dope. And then do you want to give anyone a shout out? Anyone on the mix or?
Shout out. I guess shout out Sir Steez. We just put out an EP in May, so 2 months ago.
Hell yeah.
We were working on that for about a year together.
Sick.
So yeah, really happy to see that out.
Yeah.
Other shout outs. Goop Steppa. Shout out Goop Steppa for coming back. I miss you.
Oh yeah.
I got 2 of his songs on there too.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just a lot of my favorite artists. I don't think I have many homies on this one.
Okay. There's nothing wrong
which
with
is
that.
different. Yeah, it's just like what I was feeling, I guess.
What you're feeling, what you want to put out there. That's you got to show that part of yourself. And not just
I guess I'll shout out my homie Quinn. He's on a track Yenny on the Henny.
Oh hell yeah.
He's my friend from like middle school, and he's like super into hip hop.
Yeah.
And I was like, you gotta come rip some bars on these like bass tracks.
No way.
Yeah, he did it proper. So shout out him.
So
We'll
was
be
that just like
working
a
together.
random thing that you were just like making the song and you're like, hey, I want to jump on this?
Yeah, I like couldn't finish it, and we just like connected again over Snapchat randomly, and I was like, yo, like I forgot you make amazing music.
Oh my god.
And then so we've been collabing a lot, which has been fun, because he's not like since he's not in the community, he has like a whole different perspective of things, which brings a whole fresh vibe to the music, and which is fun for me.
Yeah.
I guess I could plug Yenny Bleaches.
Yeah.
Make my
shout
own,
that out.
I make my own merch.
Yeah, girl.
So we go out and source everything secondhand, and we bleach dye them. I have a stencil for the Yenny logo. We got t-shirts, sweatpants, sweatshirts, shorts, all that kind of stuff. So that always helps fund the project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing the damn thing. Someone buy some Yenny merch and support this girl over here.
And look fresh while you're at it.
Hell yeah. And secondhand, like we gotta support the environment a little bit more, people. Like
Agreed. Sustainability is always something I like to think about. So, and cheaper that way. I sell them for cheaper too. It's not like making the expensive as like merch that's made by like a large company or something like that.
Well, and that's just so much more personal too. And I feel like people who are gonna buy like your stuff now, like further down the line, they're gonna be like, I got one of the first pieces of like Yenny
one of
merch.
the first round. Yeah, and I do like custom stuff like that if you want certain colors. All that kind of stuff.
That's special.
Yeah,
I think that's like way more meaningful.
Yeah, I think so too.
Love that. All right, well, hell yeah. This has been the first podcast for Alchemy Cartel with Yenny. We are going to be featuring her mix, and go listen to it, support, buy some Yenny merch, and support your local DJs, guys. Don't be doing what people were doing to her and just standing there staring at her while she's playing an opening set. Support local DJs.
Yeah, go from doors to the closer.
Hell yeah, that's what we need out here. Just show some love, and guys, thanks for listening.
For having me.
Hell yeah.
Shout out Alchemy Cartel.
Yeah, so happy to have you.
Yes.
All right, well, thanks guys, we'll see you next time.
Peace.